The boundary surface tool is often an improvement over the loft, especially when it comes to the quality of transition between faces. And this is especially true when you compare a boundary surface against a loft with guide curves. Because the boundary surface is a surface feature rather than a solid feature, there are a couple of extra manual steps that have to be taken to integrate the surface into the solid. To create the boundary surface, I'll click the boundary icon on the Surfaces toolbar to launch the Boundary Surface Property Manager. I'll select the two split-line edges. Like loft profiles, it's best to select the profiles in the same location. The connector dots appear where you select the profiles. For example, notice that the connector dots are almost on opposite sides of the profiles, and that the resulting surface is heavily twisted. This is easier to see with a finer mesh preview and without the curvature combs. If I drag one of the dots so that it's lined up with the other one, the surface straightens out. The black lines of the mesh are meant to help you visualize the structure of the surface. This concept of using the connectors to manipulate the surface mesh can be applied to both lofts and boundary surfaces. Connectors can be added by right-clicking on a profile and selecting Add Connector. Adding connectors is useful when trying to control twist in localized areas. You can think of connectors as impromptu guide curves. They help you connect one position on a profile to a corresponding position on the other. Now, once the profiles are selected and the connectors straightened out, I'll assign the tangency type for both profiles. To do this, I'll select the first profile in the Direction 1 selection box, and then set the tangency to Curvature to Face. I'll also set the tangent length to 0.3. Then I'll select the second profile in the selection box and set its tangency. Again, I'll use Curvature to Face with a tangent length of 1.8. The preview looks good, so I'll click OK. When the boundary surface is complete, the geometry looks correct, but all that has been done at this point is to put a surface over the intersection. The surface is not integrated with the solid yet. For that, I'll use the Replace Face feature. Replace Face enables you to replace faces of the solid with a surface body. It can add and remove material all at once. I'll start by initiating the Replace Face feature from the Surfaces toolbar. The solid faces are selected in the upper selection box. And the replacement surface is selected in the lower selection box. I'll click OK to complete the transition. To clean up the display, I can hide the surface body.